Hello there, this is Retro Spirits Guide. I'm presenting NAM 1975 on the NEO GEO AES home console system. Max 330 mega Pro Gear spec by SNK. Oh, lovely. This game is for use in Japan only, even though it's a European version of this game. It's because I'm running it on a Japanese console. SNK presents. This is I believe, the very first published NEO GEO game. As such, it features delights such as a man with massive eyes and some speech, a rip-off of Full Metal Jacket, and a dude who's praying to a gun. That even might be a digitised image from Full Metal Jacket, don't know. We've got some rather scratchy voiceover. But we do have a cartoonish old man's face. He looks a bit like Eggman. So Eggman and his daughter exist in a soldier's brain. This is a scrolling shoot-'em-up, horizontally scrolling shoot-'em-up, in the style of Cabal or Operation Wolf. It's kind of like a mix between the two, and you've got a well-animated soldier who cartwheels and runs along the bottom of the screen when you release the button. You press diagonally down to make him cartwheel. You can't fire whilst you're running or cartwheeling, so you stand still, you shoot things, and then they shoot back at you, and as is the case there, shoot you in the balls, and shoot you in the balls again, and you can't, you have to dodge, you can't run whilst you're shooting, which is infuriating actually when you first start, but you get used to it. And you've got a grenade button, and you press the button and it launches grenades and you pick extra grenades up. That's what you start out with. Once you've played it a couple of times, you'll notice that you can pick up extra weapons, such as flamethrowers and a double sight, which gives you a wider range of shot. And you can also pick up super bombs and a companion, which helps mow down the enemies in double quick time. And on the second level, it's a lady, and I don't know if I've got far enough to see if you can pick her up on any of the other levels. But here you can see I'm blowing up helicopters on a river. There's some dudes who are launching themselves into the river via massive trebuchets. I don't know why that's the case. We've got some parallax scrolling. We've got helicopters that are camouflaged, which is groovy. We've got a mountain in the background. Some nicely animated dudes and nicely animated explosions. So this was the game that would show you the power of the NEO GEO in all of its 46 mega glory. I am playing the European version here, and I don't know if it's the same as the Japanese version. I'm assuming it is, but this is a tough little game, especially initially. Once you get used to it, you can kind of work out that you can cartwheel through enemy fire, which does help you a little bit, but the bad guys are very good shots. You can shoot their grenades out of the air if you're feeling like a dead shot, but that's quite difficult. The amount of enemies you have to defeat does make it fairly difficult. One hit kills, so you have got to preserve your lives there. With the old cartwheel, we're going to fight George Dawes, and we're going to fight... oh, I don't know. Someone with a very short arm. It looks like that Russian boxer. Nikolai Valuev. We're going to fight George Dawes and Nikolai Valuev. And we're going to shoot... looks like a statue of Buddha, which is mildly inappropriate. You see someone's got some scaling on the old bad dudes there. Oh, they're flamethrowing me. Some nice animation in this stuff. We've got some cheapy bits, but we've got some zooming in and out. We've got some flamethrowers which look cool. We've got some explosions which look cool. That's all in order. And very odd voices on these dudes. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, if you can cartwheel through certain bullets, you see little blood splats appear, and they would have killed you if you weren't cartwheeling, but you'll see that as I cartwheel a bit further on in the game. Got some nice cutscenes here, some sort of 70s style split screen action. This dude's face is really badly drawn. Yeah, I think I was saying that this is the very first Neo Geo game, so they're using a lot of the Neo Geo's built-in effects. Because of grabby tank. This doesn't happen every time. You don't have to fight the tank every time you finish the level. They just kind of pop up every now and again. I'm not sure what criteria makes them pop up. You see how I went through the bullets there with a cartwheel and then got some blood splats? Yeah, I'm not sure what criteria makes these tanks pop up, but it's like a bit of a coin grabbing sort of side quest really, because after defeating the boss of the first level you then get put straight into another boss fight where he then robs you of another life, which is fairly annoying, especially when you've been doing badly in the level anyway. So I don't know how or why those things appear. Here we have a guy in a bulletproof vest holding a woman hostage, and now she's going to come and help me because she is a tool up. Oh, look, we've got a rocket launcher now. Lovely stuff. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good game. It's a sort of a horizontally scrolling shooter, action game, which is very difficult initially, but then once you get used to it, you can kind of do it a bit. But I'm sure there's someone on YouTube that can go through the whole game on one life. You're not watching that video here, you're watching someone who's barely competent. So that's exciting for everybody involved, isn't it? I have the European version of this, and I paid the princely sum of 15 English pounds for it, way back in 2000 and probably 4, that kind of time frame. It was a brand new copy, and it was bought off of eBay. It was factory sealed, imagine that. Factory sealed Neo Geo game for 15 quid. How times have changed. Yeah, so back then, Neo Geo games could be had quite cheaply in a lot of cases, which is different to today. And this is the version without the black pen marks all over it. There was a lot of eBay copies around at the time where they'd been imported from somewhere in the I want to say Saudi Arabia or somewhere. I don't know, but there's a woman on the front cover, the woman that's helping me here, and she had some of her skin kind of inked out by a Sharpie in a lot of copies. But my English copy, European copy, didn't have the artwork kind of scribbled on, so that's nice. The Japanese version of this can be had for anywhere between, I guess, 100 to 250 quid, or maybe even a bit more, because there's a cardboard box version of this game, and if you buy the cardboard box version, you're going to pay top rate, because that was the initial release. Oh look, I've just been turned into a flaming man. That's unfortunate for me. Yeah, so it could be an expensive game, but I still think you can probably get the softbox version for around 50 quid probably, if you know where to look. And indeed, if you want a copy with the woman blacked out on the front cover, you'd probably pay a little bit less for it, with it being defaced on the front cover and the instruction manual. It's a decent game. I wouldn't ever recommend you go out and buy it as your first Neo Geo game, but it's fun. It's 2-player. It's just rock freaking hard. Like I said, it's got a lot of voiceover in it, but the voiceover's quite scratchy. The music's alright. You can hum the tunes. Graphics are pretty decent. What more do you want? What more do you want for 15 quid? Nothing, that's what I'd suggest. You want nothing more for that amount of money. I think it's going to make me fight another tank here because I've got a red border. And the words "born to kill" on my hat have been put in the mirror. It's not a tank, seems to be a fire engine with tank tracks. That's birthday balloons. He's firing birthday balloons at me that release farts. Oh, that's unfortunate. Do I get killed? I'll probably get killed by the farts, don't I? Yeah, it's a bit because you don't get that every time. You don't get that at the end of every level. So I don't know what's going on there. I do quite like these. They're badly drawn, but I do quite like the intermission screens with the old frame-in-frame thing going on. Small parallax running here. Oh, lovely big planes. So, yeah, back in the day, this was probably the first NEO GEO game I ever saw. It was either this or Magician Lord or League Bowling, because the NEO GEO machine in the arcade I went to had those games on it. I can't remember for the life of me what the fourth game would have been. But I always gravitate towards Magician Lord. I do like that game. It's a bit cool and go see. I only played this a couple of times in the arcade. I just found it too difficult. But for 15 quid I couldn't argue. I had to buy the home version. See, like the skipping left and right with the old cartwheels is the way to beat this game. I'm sure there's someone out there who's done it and they know when to do all the cartwheels and when to run left and right. Running left and right seems to lead to your doom. There's lots of things zooming in and out here, look. Oh man, that's the power of the NEO GEO right there. Like I said, it's a bit like Operation Wolf, it's a bit like Cabal. It's a bit more impressive than Cabal. Cabal's got nasty graphics. But it's not first person like Operation Wolf or Thunderbolt. This is interesting. You can shoot up the old airplane, and it's got every single panel on it can be damaged, which is lovely. Yeah. So, do I recommend this game? Well, I recommend you if you got NEO GEO AES or CD or MVS, and you can get the cartridge or CD for a reasonable price, say I don't know, 40 quid, 40, 50 quid. It might be worth a punt. Whether you'd get that much money's worth out of it, I don't know. But as a little bit of history, it's the first NEO GEO game. It might be worth looking at. That's all I'm saying. And it is quite fun. It's just not. It's not essential. It's not an essential part of everybody's NEO GEO library, especially if you don't like shooters. But yeah, you can see some of the things here in this bit of software, which made the NEO GEO great. Animation, lots of it. Alright then, well, that's me, and I'll see you next time. So right.